Since its beginning in 2003, Yatooma's Foundation for the Kids has been helping Michigan families of kids who have suffered the heartbreaking and devastating loss of a parent. By providing practical, professional, and personal assistance at each stage of the grieving process, the Foundation is literally rebuilding lives through services that include grief counseling, financial assistance, mentorship, help with transportation, tuition assistance, job placement, and much more. What follows is a glimpse into how these families' lives have been positively and dramatically changed through assistance provided by the Foundation. It was a field filled with dreams. In addition to providing Charlie and his family with food, help with utilities, and a mentor and swim lessons for Charlie, the Foundation made it possible for Charlie to throw out the first pitch at a Tigers game.
Now, we welcome Charlie Curran representing Yatooma's Foundation for the Kids.
In partnership with Colex Collision's Wheels of Hope Benevolence Car Program, Patty was presented with the gift of a car,
Congratulations, Patricia. Check out your new wheels.
making it possible for her to find work and to enjoy more activities with son Riley. This family was also helped with food, utility assistance, insurance, and health care. And one family was given the trip of a lifetime. In February 2009, Jim and daughter Anna packed their bags, headed to Tampa Bay, and enjoyed a fun-filled trip at Super Bowl 43.
I never would have thought that I would be going to a Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you, sometimes I fall asleep during the Super Bowl. Not this time.
In addition, the Foundation has helped Jim and Anna with food, driver's education classes for Anna, utilities assistance, school clothing and supplies, rent assistance, and counseling. And it was a literal army of volunteers that took over the Cosme family home in December 2009. After losing her husband tragically to murder, Euphemia and her 3 children were treated to a Christmas they'll never forget.
A lot better Christmas than we were hoping for. It's great.
Euphemia and her family were also helped with grief counseling, food and financial assistance for a wide variety of their needs.
The difference maker has really been the people. When I consider where we've been to where we are and where we're going, it really makes me nostalgic. Think about our history and about our future. It's these people that have embraced us. People with influence, people with affluence. They've given their time, they've given their talents. They've helped to take this organization from the kitchen table to the community.
I think that the thing that makes this foundation unique in its purpose and in its mission and in everyday application is that it so directly impacts people's lives. It's not research, there's no lag time between need and service. It's immediate. We deal with these kids' problems, with the family's issues as soon as we find out. And that's what makes it, I think, so unique and so wonderful to be a part of it, because there are immediate results that you see when you reach into someone's lives.
I think the effectiveness of the foundation is probably the number one for us. Our family had the experience this Christmas of delivering gifts to a family in need. And so my wife and kids and I, we delivered Christmas gifts to a family. And it was life-changing. It really was. When you see a family in need the way this family was, it changed our life. And so I think, Mike spoke of it, the immediacy, the immediate impact is incredibly important. And so we're here to help make sure that continues.
So our hope for the future of this foundation, in my eyes, is being able to help more and more people. Unfortunately, with the society that we live in and all of the tragedies that befall us, the need grows. So in order to be able to help these people, we have to grow the foundation. So growing the foundation exponentially would be my dream.
There are many wonderful organizations with great causes, but very few of them are able to state that with the outstanding support of the board and their support of underwriting all of the administrative expenses, that 100% of the proceeds from the public go directly to these families.
Even yours truly and the incredible Frank Beckman of WJR have been able to participate in the cause, donning a couple of, well, very eye-catching personalized suits to raise funds.
Kevin Collard and Shelley Dirda are the producers of the show, and I'm Frank. Later.
WJR is still a free number.
Isn't this beautiful? I wouldn't do it for anybody but Norman Yatooma. His foundation for the kids is one of the foundations, one of the charity organizations that I respect as much as any in town. The hard work that Norman puts into this on behalf of kids who wind up losing parents at a young age. It's not their fault. They wind up alone. They need help. They need support in so many ways. And when Norman called and came up with this idea of helping his fundraising campaign, helping to raise $100,000 for the kids, if I'd just wear this suit, I said, well, it's the least I could do for that. And so I'm happy to raise awareness for the foundation, and absolutely thrilled that Norman and the For the Kids Foundation has met their goal of raising $100,000.
We've been able to really help kids. Kids who've lost a parent who otherwise have no help. They have no defenses. They have no friends. These people in this community have embraced them, have embraced this foundation, have made these kids their friends. They've made the difference.
During the years of 2008 and 2009, Yatooma's Foundation for the Kids has been providing support to an extraordinary mother named Kim and her 3 children who have suffered an unimaginable loss.
Life before my husband's passing was, everybody described us as the perfect family. We were the perfect couple. Not that we didn't have issues, because we had plenty, but we did a lot of things together. I would say probably about 2005, I started noticing a change in my husband.
That change was paranoid schizophrenia. Kim's husband was falling deeper and deeper into an illness that, without diagnosis and treatment, could be devastating to himself and his entire family.
That Saturday, we were debating if we were going to go to a sorority event, one of my sorority events, or if we would spend it with the kids, and we decided we'll have family day with the kids.
But the mood in the room that day began to change.
After I cooked dinner that day, he continued to sit at the table reading the Bible, and he just wouldn't stop. He just kept reading the Bible and reading the Bible. And I said, well, if we're going to go, you know, I need you to massage this crook out of my neck. So I went and got a pillow, and I brought it to the kitchen and laid it on the table. The kids were in the living room watching a movie, and he was massaging me to the point I fell asleep on the table. And when it happened, it didn't hurt. I was asleep, and he raised my head and he cut my throat. I can't describe the look on his face, but he had a tear coming down his face, and he wouldn't say anything. His eyes were really glossy, and I kept looking at him. I said, why aren't you answering me? And my eyes started to gravitate toward his hand. I noticed he was holding a knife. When I fell on the floor, I grabbed the cordless telephone, and I tried to get out. I started walking towards the front door, and I saw my children in the living room watching TV right there. So I got out the door, I went next door, and I was banging on my neighbor's door for her to open the door, and I'm talking to the 911 operator. I'm telling her, I think my husband has a mental illness. I don't know, but he just cut my throat. And I said, I have children in the house. Can you please come and help me? And when he was pulling me back to the house, I fell on the grass. And when I fell, I looked up and I saw my daughter in the living room window. And when she looked, she saw his gun and she screamed and ran upstairs. I was happy that she left because I didn't want her to see whatever was going to happen. And I just kept swinging my legs and my arms. And finally I felt like someone came behind me. It was just a warmth of just someone as if they were holding me, saying, just stop. It'll be okay, just stop. So I stopped.
There were 3 shots fired. One hit Kim in the arm. The second was to her head, and with the third shot, Kim's husband took his own life.
A lot of people ask me, am I angry? I've had that question a lot. I have no ill feelings towards him. Never in a million years would I have thought that something like that would have happened to us. And I just can't imagine of the things that he was going through with schizophrenia. But I know he would have never done that to us.
Recovery for Kim has taken months and even years, which made grieving time for herself and her children nearly impossible. And financially, they were devastated.
There was a financial struggle because I was used to having my husband there, helping to provide for the children. So now we gave up our home that we were in. The four of us were living upstairs, and my mother was kind of like a finished attic. I received a lot of doctor bills from my husband passing, as well as huge co-pays from the time that I spent in the hospital, along with trying to pay for us to go through counseling and make sure those needs were met too. I was trying to make life as normal for them as possible, not send them into a tragic state.
When Yatooma's Foundation for the Kids stepped in, it couldn't have come at a better time for the family.
There's a lot of organizations, I think, that they say they do one thing, but they make it very difficult for someone reaching out to receive help from them to get that help. So no one really wanted to offer us any help. And so I was hesitant in calling the foundation, but I said, you know what? I prayed about it and I said, I'll give it a try and I'll call. And the lady I spoke with was so helpful. She said, okay, well, I left a message, and I believe it was on a Friday. Monday morning, I believe, I had a phone call. So I was really shocked that we were in the turnaround time or that anyone even called. And very quickly, she wanted to set up an appointment to see if I was eligible for the services and do an intake.
Yatooma's Foundation for the Kids has helped Kim and her 3 children, Latressa, Serena, and Jamal, rebuild their lives with professional therapy, grief camp for the children, a new prosthetic eye for Kim, glasses for the kids, utility help, and family togetherness experiences at Detroit Pistons and Tiger games. The Foundation's continuing efforts to help the family recover from grief, fulfill basic needs, and move the family toward independence has brought back to the kids a sport that children thoroughly enjoy.
You know, it may not have been much for one, but for 3, it was quite a bit. And the foundation, they offered to pay for that. Since then, my children have a cabinet full of trophies. The girls are breaking bricks now, and they love karate. They love it. Yatooma's Foundation for the Kids holds a very dear place in my heart, not for just what they've done for my family, but what I've seen them do for other families. I always want to keep them updated. I send little notes updating them on how we're doing or how the kids are doing. I don't think I'll ever lose touch with the foundation just because of how they've touched me and how they touched my family, and I want to be a part of them helping other people. And I've told them before, whenever you need someone to speak, to do a video or go on camera, I have no problem doing that because I believe in their mission and I see them working so hard to accomplish that mission.